Aloha, y'all. It is Sunday, ruled by the sun, hence the name. Where's my phone? Oh, it's upstairs. I'm guessing it's the 20th. I think it's the 20th. It's the last moments of Pisces season. It's about to be the spring equinox today, and like the next hour or so, two, maybe. So happy spring equinox, y'all. Though it is in the last moments of Pisces, I'll kind of be saying, Sun in Pisces, but probably be mentioning it more as Aries because that's where it's going. The sun is at 29 degrees 51 minutes Pisces, so it is going to be going into Aries very shortly. The moon is at 27 degrees 58 minutes Libra, literally 2 minutes away from popping into Scorpio. Mercury is at 17 degrees Pisces, Venus is at 13 degrees Aquarius, Mars is at 10 degrees Aquarius, Jupiter is at 18 degrees Pisces, Saturn's at 20 degrees 54 minutes Aquarius, Uranus is at 12 degrees Taurus, Neptune's at 23 degrees Pisces, Pluto's at 28 degrees Capricorn, and the North Node is at 23 degrees Taurus. The crown chakra is the day of chakra of the day. See all these little Om symbols? It's like a portal, and it is going to be a portal into the spring equinox here momentarily. So, it's located at the top of the skull. The keywords are beauty, creativity, and inspiration. Inspiration. In some language. I was like, that sounds more like French than Spanish, but okay. It's related to the brain, right? Positive aspects are a reverence for all of life, self-sacrificing in the service of others, idealism, and ability to see the appropriate route for the benefit of the higher self. Negative aspects, no concern for others, feelings of superiority, a lack of contact with reality. The mantra is Om, Om, right? That's why we have little Om symbols. And the musical note when you're doing Oming with the Sahasrara chakra today, on this Sunday, this spring equinox day, new astrological year in a few minutes, hours, is B. The sensory experience is bliss. Spiritual activities include prayer, meditation, or reflection. Essential oils are violet, lavender, and lotus. Plant is lotus flower. I should play my song No Mud, No Lotus at some point. I'll bring down the acoustic guitar and do that. Element is the cosmos. Crystals are amethyst and alexandrite, and soul lesson is to be at one with the source. I'm just realizing now that the sun is going to be kind of an issue. 1 second. Not an issue in a bad way, but we don't want all these rays. That still didn't really do anything. There we go. All right. Because we're fixing things on the fly out here. All right, so to be at one with the source, and I thought that was rather ironic that the source of life on Earth, the sun, was kind of peep-a-tomming in brightly. It's still got a sliver coming through, but whatevs. So, it is Sahasrara Chakra Day. Let us go ahead and pull some cards. Hopefully you all are doing well. My dreams were ratchet. I ate mushrooms yesterday and probably closer to a fat eighth, maybe a quarter, I don't know, I don't have scales. And it was the most intense mushroom trip I've ever had in my life. I was kind of worried a little at one point at the very beginning because I was just like, whoa, this is like DMT realms almost. Open and closed-eyed gnarliness. And yeah, went to bed and had dreams about a very bizarre kind of Hunger Games meets Mr. Robot World War type reset thing. Very bizarre. So, I don't know about y'all, but yeah, last degrees of Pisces sun, it will be doing that. Mercury in Pisces. Well, what card wants to pop today? All these cards are kind of sticky, so I'll shuffle a little differently. We've got the Six of Swords. Moving on. Na, 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 na. Good song by really groovy song, actually, if you haven't heard, by Roosevelt. Moving on. Check it out. But with the Six of Swords is the card of the day. We've got a little Indian warrior brave going through the initiation. Very apropos on the river going from Pisces river waters into the new territory that is Aries season, the new astrological year. So swords are the mind. If you are a Gemini, like myself, Sun and Moon, and Chiron, a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius, you're naturally going to resonate with this suit. The Six of Swords is as follows: being aware of the energy of transition, perfect for this shift into the new astrological year, into Aries season, and the moon just literally about to shift into Scorpio from Libra. Leaving the familiar behind, moving forward, forgiving the past, and testing your abilities to gain self-knowledge. Like, you really can't get a better, more initiatory kind of energy into a situation, i.e. the spring equinox in the northern hemisphere, the fall equinox in the southern. Six of Swords, I adventure into the great unknown. Aren't we all there right now? So, and I, myself included, I thought I had a ticket to Hawaii. I still could technically go, but it's like, oh shit, I gotta rearrange some things, and maybe I'll go to Europe this summer, check out Ireland and Croatia, and go to Budapest and things like that, Norway, things I can go to as a non-vax person. Shout out to non-vax people. We made it so far. Or who knows. So, maybe go back to the States. Check out some places I haven't yet seen. Grand Canyons, Yosemite, stuff like that. Get a job. Kim Kardashian disapproved or approved. Six of Swords, I adventure into the great unknown. So much of our lives are spent trying to avoid change, because to move away from what is familiar involves risk, even danger. Yet remaining where we are is not easy either. As philosopher Joseph Campbell wrote, quote, we must let go of the life we have planned so as to accept the one that is waiting for us. Well, it seems my internet is being weird on Facebook, but here it's back. So the internet doing its thing, glitching. We must let go of the life we have planned so as to accept the one waiting for us. That's a Joseph Campbell quote, and it is very apropos in the sense that going in from the astrological year 2021's astrological year essentially into the later degrees of 2022, with Pisces season, we're just about to launch into a new astrological year. We don't have any clue what these alignments are going to hold for us. Astrology helps us kind of understand the general climate of the pool, so to speak. But honestly, some of these transits are first-time things for all of us to have ever physically experienced. So we are being initiated like this little brave into what is waiting for us down the waters of life, rolling down the river. Six of Swords indicates it's time to venture across the unknown sea. Maybe it is time to go to Europe. Something is awaiting your arrival. The card depicts an Indian brave sailing his kayak on the great river of life. The water is golden with possibility. He has left his home because a journey has called him. He is willing to face potential dangers in search for meaning and answers, right? We're being initiated. We want to know things. This is the Swords. And with Saturn and Aquarius, Mars and Venus conjuncted Aquarius, we really want to uncover the truths of reality at an intellectual level for better structuring, for understanding our place in the world, for seeing the schematic of the whole to the best of our ability. With the sun in the last moments of Pisces going into Aries, we're like, oh, I'm dreaming, but what can I do? Oh, I'm going down, row your boat down the river, but I'm ready to play with life in a very real way. And the moon in Scorpio just about, like, we could drown in this water, so we got to be careful. We got to keep our balance. Last moments of Libra moon. The card depicts an Indian brave sailing his kayak on the great river of life. The water is golden with possibility. He has left his home because the journey has called him. He is willing to face potential dangers in search for meaning and answers. He balances precariously perched at the mouth of a waterfall. That, if that's not such a last moments of moon in Libra going into Scorpio moon, I don't know what is. It's like, oh, I'm balanced really precariously, and I'm about to go over a waterfall. Death, just, death in the water, possibly. He has left his home. Okay, he's balanced precariously perched at the mouth of a waterfall, connecting to the vision before him of a spirit guide which breathes new life into his being. Last minutes of sun in Pisces, right? We're initiating from the dream. Oh my gosh, I had a dream to guide me. Pisces sun into I'm ready to act on this and move forward in the dream, into reality. Aries, sun, spring equinox. Shards of glowing rock appear to his right. Angelic patterning hovers above him, messengers from a new land. North Node and Taurus, new lands. We're going into new initiations of the world around us. Pluto and Capricorn. Inertia, a tendency to do nothing or to remain unchanged, often sits at the helm of any changes we want to make in our lives. We balk at things. We go, I don't know. I don't have enough money to do this. I don't know the language. It's too cold. Things like that. We give ourselves excuses. I'm too scared for any number of logical or illogical subconscious reasons, and we just need to get on the boat and face our fears, face our spiritual initiations, and go to new lands, metaphorically and otherwise. So we try to balk at these changes. It is hardwired into our biology, trying to protect us from risk. It actually serves a function. Saturn and Aquarius. It's hardwired. We're wired this way. Another ally of inertia is the false impression we need to feel good or positive about a change in order to move ahead. I think there's a spectrum of that. So it's like you don't want to just avoid things that feel good and be some stoic, right? Saturn and Aquarius. You don't want to just be like, well, I'm taking the philosophical route always. You want to follow your joy, but you can't just only hit the feel good button, only hit the easy button, say anything that requires direct action or change or progress or growth is bad. Like, that's not the look. So we're being initiated, right, into what? Further, rowing a boat, Sahasrara Chakra, Sunday, down into the dream. This is like the Willy Wonka tunnel. It's like where we're going, no one knows, we keep rowing. That psychedelic scene. Very much actually like my trip yesterday on mushrooms. It was definitely the most intense trip on mushrooms I've ever had. So we got to just keep moving with that inertia of the momentum of the river and not balk it, and ultimately follow our guides, Jupiter in Pisces. Like, we have luck of spirit with us as we enter this new spring equinox 2022 astrological year. Many of the greatest works of art and literature have been sparked by the fire of turmoil or burst from the dark womb of sadness. The moon almost entering Scorpio, the dark womb of sadness and despair and victimization. Woe is me, I'm alone in this world, it hurts, suffering, kind of emotionally. That is a source of a great inspiration sometimes. It can move us forward into what? Our value, our growth, our development, North Node and Taurus. The moon is about to be, it's basically opposite the North Node, so it's like we're having to really kind of reconcile where our emotions are in relation to where the future is going. I think that's why my dreams were so crazy. Plus Mercury is in Pisces. Inertia, I already read that. As I worked on several Starman tarot cards, I felt nothing short of dreadful existential sadness, feeling completely artistically blocked and even physically ill at times, and yet those cards are among the most innovative and profound for me. They turned out to be powerful transition points, propelling me to more vivid, creative territories. They helped me to ask deeper and richer questions. Moon going into Scorpio, deeper and richer questions being asked of us. The Six of Swords indicates it is time to venture across the unknown. See, there's a typo, so it's repeating itself. So, basically, the Six of Swords, beware the energy of transition. We are about to enter the spring equinox, like within the hour. So, happy new astrological year. Leave the familiar behind. Move forward. Forgive the past. North Node of Taurus, make a new world. Test your abilities to gain self-knowledge. Saturn in Aquarius, as well as Mars conjunct Venus in Aquarius, we're testing our knowledge in the world for Pluto and Capricorn to see how we can actually transform the world. And ultimately, it's a multiple choice, test with no wrong answers. It's just like, it's like a choose your own adventure. It's like, well, here I am, and if I go this way and do these things, I end up here, but that becomes the new center, and you relocate. You're always, in a sense, at the center of the universe. It's not all about you. It's paradoxical. It's like you're creating the universe through your perceptions and apprehensions of consciousness and stuff. You are consciousness witnessing the universe, right? Om. But at the same time, you're developing differently. Like a chicken is not a tree, is not a Abraham Lincoln, right? But we're all in the dream together. So all of our initiations look very different. Paul getting knocked off his horse and going blind for a few days with the vision of Christ and having to convert from Saul of Tarsus to Paul the evangelist is a very different initiation than Elon Musk or whatever, right? So, or you or I. So we need to be going down the river, using our heads. We're birthing a new aeon, and we're being initiated through fear, through mystery, right? Through unknowns. And in any sense, expansion creates opportunity, right? Yes, staying in your village and doing the same old thing forever there's a sense of stability and maybe value and direction to that. So North Node and Taurus with that. But we need to go into new lands. North Node and Taurus in a different way. We need to seek out new crops, new relationships, new experiences for our growth. And he's a little Indian brave, right? So he's a little warrior, very much Sun in Aries with the spring equinox popping. So let's get a clarified card. Hopefully this is making sense for y'all. We got the Nine of Swords. We got 2 swords. This is about nightmares. I had a nightmare last night. It wasn't like something that, it was one of these really mental things where I was just very engrossed. It felt like watching a movie. Could have been worse. But it was very, like I said, Mr. Robot, which I've never seen, but I kind of get the gist of Fight Club meets like Apocalypse, Hunger Games shit. I was like, it was so bizarre. I'll have to explain it to my fiance because she's like my psychotherapist when like, oh my gosh, my dreams are crazy. What does this mean? So once again, swords, if you're a Gemini, Libra, or an Aquarius, the moon in the last moments of, possibly even out of Libra at this moment, we've got this energy coming in strong as the clarifier. So the card of the day is 6 of Swords, moving along on the river, getting new ideas, freshly initiating into new mystery, new opportunity. But what is holding us back? What's the clarifier? We're afraid. We're worst case scenarioing this stuff. Black Moon Lilith is in Gemini right now, right? 27 degrees Gemini. So we have this ability to be like, oh my gosh, this isn't going to work out. What happens if this does, if I win the lottery, everyone's going to take advantage of me and I'm going to go broke really quick. It's like worst case scenario thinking. So this is about I perceive danger everywhere, which actually can exist. If he's not using his head and balancing on this, there's piranhas in the water, there's a waterfall over here. This mask vision on the peyote is fucking with him. He could lose his balance, right? Lose his mind. So the danger is real, but we have to move through it anyway. That's what of initiation is. And the last degrees of Pisces Sun into Aries season is about the illusions and delusions of the subconscious, the collective consciousness, the dark side of the moon, kind of. And we pop into a new story, a new chapter. It's the tension and release of a story. Because that's what makes a good story, good music. It's tension, and then it's like, right? That's Beethoven's Fifth, and it does all this kind of stuff, initiation, and then at the end, it has usually this exclamation point of the end of a chapter. I'm rambling. So, investigate your psychological turmoil. Why am I having these dreams? Probably because I have Mercury, Mars, 12th house, so it's like, oh God, I know we're all going through a lot of fear. Questioning your fears, right? You might be like, holy shit, I see the waterfall. And it's like, you're not even going to go near that waterfall. Actually, the river forks and you're going to take the other river. Understanding where it comes from, nightmares and illusions, just had them. Knowing you are not alone in this feeling. I know we're all going through transitions. I mean, that's just the nature of the astrology right now. So it's okay to be afraid, but we have to move through that fear. Just like Atreyu in Neverending Story, goes to the Sphinxes. He's not like, hell yeah, let's do this, and running. I mean, he runs through after a moment of apprehension and fear and doubt a little, right? And it searches his heart. The lasers hit in the movie, but it's a little different in the book. He's very much Atreyu. Look at him, a little warrior from the plains, right? On a river going to find Arin or whatever. So, the never-ending story of life, birth, and redeath, the cycle of what? Infinite Sahasrara chakra perspective, is that we can't remain the same. The song remains the same. How? By always changing musical chairs. And there's nothing to be afraid of. You're not going to lose the seat. Like a musical chair is part of the fun. Is like, oh my gosh, if I gotta get the seat quick enough. Musical chairs is an interesting game because it's kind of like resource scarcity 101. It's like music is happening, life's going along, but if you're not paying attention, you might lose out. And we need to kind of understand we're hardwired for that thinking, but at the same time, it's an illusion of scarcity. We need to realize that all opportunities are there for our taking, and that to play the game at all is a choice, and we've asked to be here. 44, the last card of the deck, Jackal. So, let's get the truth. This is some last moments of Pisces Sun energy, initiating into a new year. It's like, hey, I've seen these people on DMT. I've talked to transdimensional Egyptian beings. It was rather ratchet. So this resonates for me at that level. Truth. The jackal. Authenticity is important. With Venus and Mars conjunct in Aquarius, with the North Node in Taurus, it's about being your true self. It's about grounding your true reality, right? This guy is going to find his new name, Atreyu, or whatever it is. And it's, nobody else has my name, Atreyu. I'm the only Atreyu. Like, but we have to go through our fears and anxieties to claim that power, to claim that authenticity. Or else you're just going to be a cog of the machine, an NPC, right? Just being like, yes, I'll wear a mask. It's like, there's nothing to be afraid of. If you're going to die from something, you're going to die from something. There's only so much you can do. Enjoy the ride. Authenticity is important. Live your truth fearlessly. Someone around you is not telling you the truth. Do not fear what you cannot control. We will all leave a legacy, so you should consider what this might be for you. North Node and Taurus. What are you leaving behind? What story are you telling in your actions going into the spring equinox? Aries sun with a Scorpio moon in a minute. It's kind of right at the cusp for both of them. What's the mystery that you're leaving behind to inspire others? Like, how are they going to tell your tale? You're the one situated living out the script, but like other people are going to go, oh, that's the Toy Story story, or oh, that's the Garfield story, or whatever. And you're going to leave, your resonance leaves behind patterns of frequency. Like, it's almost like ripples in a pond, right? Where it's like, and your existence, well, shit, I might as well show it. Your existence ripples out and creates inspiration and connectivity to all other forms. That was the rippling of the pond. I got only 2 hands. Wish I was Shiva or whoever with the multiple hands. So, mythos. The majestic jackal-headed god Anubis stands next to the embalmer. He guides the embalmer's hands so they perform the correct actions. Saturn and Aquarius. It's like, there's a way to do this and don't fuck it up. And listens in satisfaction as the proper incantations are made. Infinitely gentle, Anubis takes great care of the tender new souls who have passed on to the next world, right? Traveled on. This could even be seen as going down the river Styx. I mean, it's not, potentially, but it's like, oh, I actually died and I'm about to be reborn and I've got to journey through the underworld to get to the new life, or whatever. He travels with them, reassuring them, making them comfortable upon this surprising journey, right? So there's fears, thrills, spills, chills, whirls, and all sorts of stuff, ups and downs, taking them into the goddess Mot, she who is law. It is she who will weigh their souls against the lightness of a feather, and it is she who will determine whether their souls will live forever. Anubis will record this in the great book of the dead. To our eyes, Anubis looks fearsome, but this is not the truth, right? Fear is false evidence appearing real. Not like when I met one of these dudes on DMT, I was both stock still and like shocked and petrified, I guess you could say a little, but I wasn't so afraid that I closed my eyes and freaked out. I was just like in awe, right? So, and then anyway, it's the point of saying this is like, it didn't actually fuck me over or consume me or destroy me or whatever. I just had to confront my fear of the DMT being. To our eyes, Anubis looks fearsome, but this is not the truth. Jackals did move among the graveyards, very Scorpio moon about, and clear the dead, but this jackal hopes that the person has lived a truthful and good life, North Node and Taurus, so they can experience the afterlife. More good, more life, in a different way. Jupiter and Pisces, a shift of dimensions. The alternative is that they are eaten by Amut, the devourer of souls, this alligator god. It's like, I'll consume you and spit you back up. When the cult of the god Osiris grew stronger in the later Middle Kingdom, Osiris took over many of Anubis' jobs as caretaker and protector of the dead. Thereafter, Anubis' myth became more focused on specific embalming methods and mummification processes. The care and effectiveness in which the mummification process was enacted is still a marvel today. The priests of the funerary rites would place a sacred mask, and look, oh wow, we've got all these resonances. A sacred mask, dream mask. They put the sacred mask of Anubis upon their own faces when conducting the mummification, and thus the dead person became the god himself. In the first card we quoted on the Six of Swords, Joseph Campbell, he talks a lot about masks and initiations in some of his, Thousand Faces of God or whatever, the Mask of God or whatever his series is. The animal. There are 3 species of jackal, all of which are members of the canine family. The golden jackal, the side-striped jackal, and the black-backed jackal. They are omnivores that are opportunistic both in hunting and scavenging, which is where the reputation for being around graveyards or sites of war comes from, as jackals will come for the dead and consume them. Saturn and Aquarius, they're like, hey, I know where some free food is. There was a battle, let's go eat it. Or let's go to the graveyard, there's some food there. Jackals have large territories and are endurance animals. quite able to travel over long distances and hot temperatures without breaks. They do not form large packs and are most often solitary. We're going into the Aries season. It's like, this is your trip. You're on your own. Although hunting pairs are common, so Mars conjunct Venus, like you can work together. Mortality for jack pups is high, Scorpio moon almost. And to protect her babies, a jackal mother will often move her pups to a new den every few weeks. She'll go on journeys because her fears of these other crazy animals, basilisk in this card, other animals trying to kill her is real, so that she thinks it's a truth and she's willing to move them. Probably strategic. The magic, while we're all here, and it's on page 176. 617 is my birthday, so anytime I see like 176, 617, all that stuff, I go, oh, sync for me. Sometimes we need a big dose of truth in our lives, which is where jackal energy is a positive force. Even when finding out the truth of a situation means pain, it is better to know the truth, and jackal energy can be a comfort. Also, call upon this energy when you or others are affected by death. Allow yourself to know that the person who has died has a soul that is being carefully protected and watched over. And I just had a family friend. She was a third house Aquarius sun and moon, and I'm an 11th house Gemini sun and moon. So we were kind of like twins in a way. She passed away of brain cancer or something. I think it was in an induced coma and it didn't work out. Wheezy Phillips, shout out, R.I.P. My Nana's friend, but she was a cool old lady. One of the best artists I've ever seen. I was trying to get her on the podcast to talk about her impressionistic art. She had studied in Paris in her youth and was one of the best artists ever. So I hope her art is seen and more valued posthumously. Symbology: jackal-headed man, flail, pointed ears. Status: all jackals are listed as of concern. So we are being initiated into new waters. This new season, this Aries season is coming on pretty strong, and we have to face our fears. Scorpio moon about. That's how you get to the truth. You confront. That's the last, one of the initiatory phases of Atreyu in Neverending Story. Most people have seen the movie. There is a book that's really good. Check it out. You get to a mirror where you see your shadow and you see the truth of who you are without your knowing it. And I don't need to give spoilers there, but it's like you're going to see with eyes wide open, eyes clearly, eyes not wide shut, as the Kubrick film would say. And you're going to be initiated into what? A new dimension of your being, regardless of your fears, hurts, and hangups. And you'll go, holy shit, I'm a part of something so much bigger than I could ever dream, and it's amazing, huzzah, huzzah, huzzah. So, let's get an I Ching card. Hopefully you're all doing well. I got a little headache. I'll be taking, maybe it's dehydration. These dogs, man. It's like one dog's cool, packs of dogs, little nuisance. This is some North Node and Taurus vibes. We got number 2. Also very much looks like a uterus. Let me get to it. Acceptance of what? Truth, the journey, everything. The Om symbol, Sahasrara chakra. Acceptance. This sign stands for the receptive and dedicated force of nature. Nature brings forth all creatures, bringing good as well as evil, whilst preserving in equal proportions the balance of give and take. Try to understand this law of nature, the law of Ma'at, right? The law of nature. Integrate it into your life and act in accordance with it. Accept your destiny joyously, right? Move into your new waters with power and grace. Accept it. Accept it joyously. If we live in fear and always balk at every opportunity, oh my gosh, that could go wrong. Oh my God, it's good to be sober-minded, Saturn and Aquarius. You want to understand the lay of the land, but you don't want to be held back by over-analysis paralysis, fear, what's the word I'm looking for? Cynicism, pessimism, that kind of stuff. That was what I was trying to say, cynicism. Accept your destiny joyously. This will strengthen your life force and reaffirm your character, right? North Node and Taurus. But you must also conform to the community. Venus and Mars conjunct in Aquarius. It's like, you are a powerful individual. Yes, you, Atreyu, must go find your name in the woods and do peyote and confront the ancestors in the dream world. But come back and let's eat dinner and bring a squirrel if you can on the way. Because we're all on this together. In the midst of all this activity, you should not forget to put your own life in order. Saturn in Aquarius. Like, we really are trying to structure our reality. Because Uranus is in Taurus, it's electrifying everything. Our destiny right now collectively, with the North Node in Taurus and Uranus in Taurus kind of revolutionizing it, is is a huge shift. And we need to kind of take that seriously and understand the truth of that gravitas. Create space for yourself in order to take stock and be able to contemplate a future course in life, right? He's making space. He's contemplating his direction, his future, his goals, his truth. Luck will be on your side if you successfully marry. So both and, not either or. If you marry dynamic strength with dedication and sensitivity. The dynamic strength, Aries sun about. It's almost there. It's not quite there. It's the last moments of Pisces. It's like, oh my gosh, yes, you've had the dream. You saw yourself in your mind's eye with this crazy fit body or something. You're so sexy now. You're ready for the beach. It's like, now you got to go do the crunches and the dieting. It's like, it's one thing to think it. It's another thing to do it. So marry that dynamic strength, right, with the sensitivity, the moon going into Scorpio. So very powerful I Ching hexagram there, no doubt. Number 2, Dos, peace sign. Dos is almost dies, which is day, but Dieu, the Dieu is God. God is with you. God be with you. So let's see what wants to pop. Whoa, this is a nice little one for the new year. Quartz. You could quantumly entangle with this. It's a very common crystal, so maybe you have a shard of quartz or a cluster of quartz. If not, that's okay. But we could quantumly entangle with quartz. That's the nature of reality. It's a sign of the truth of being in another form. Quartz, what it is, among the most abundant minerals on the planet, clear quartz is everywhere, but it's far from basic. A master manifestor, quartz is programmable, so give it a job to do and get busy. Who needs it? Rockhounds, because quartz intensifies the power of all the stones in your crystal collection. Geminis, like myself. Where to put it between your eyebrows during meditation. That's kind of where my headache is, actually. When to use it. When you find yourself believing the limitations your mind puts in front of you, right? 9 of Swords. When the mind's fears and anxieties and limitations, the nightmares of your mind are trying to limit you on the journey of becoming. The 6 of Swords, the card of the day. How we have to realize the truth of that and move beyond our fears in order to receive the bounty of existence. You have so many missions and side quests and items to recover in the RPG and relationships to bond. Don't get stuck, right, in your mind in fear. So when you're putting limitations, like I was saying earlier, pessimism, cynicism, doubts, if you're constantly in that space, it's not healthy for you or others. Don't do it. It's okay to be realistic. The truth can hurt, but you don't want to just be... truth without love is mean and cold. Love without truth is possibly too wet and soft. It's about the middle path, right? So call on quartz to help you see through the illusions, clear the mind of self-doubt, surrender to the will of the universe, the Om symbol, like the Om. I'll hold it up. It's hard with all these cards. Surrender to the will of the universe. You're already in the dream. You can't fight it. You can go to this dimension or this dimension of the dream. You can have a really rocking time at a New Year's party. You can sit there in purgatory. You could go to a desert island and be alone and scared. But, you know, submit to the dream a little and work with it. So clear your mind of self-doubt, surrender to the will of the universe, and start manifesting the, quote, impossible with the sun in the last moments of Pisces, going into the Aries new astrological year. We can dream it and then act upon it. Make it so. It says, enhance your vision. With Jupiter in a Pisces, we really are trying to see the truth of all truths. See the unity in all things. Love the dogs that bark and annoy you, even though they're annoying sometimes. Be receptive to all opportunities. Go down this initiatory path, confronting our fears, and even going into mysteries that are unknown, because that's how we birth that's how we grow as a conscious entity. And these barriers, these fears, these hiccups of distortions and things, we've asked for that. So you don't want to run away from the monster. You're just going to make the monster bigger and bigger over time. If you're a little afraid of going outside and you never go outside after many years, you'll have agoraphobia, right? You'll be like, holy shit, I'm afraid of everything. The truth is, we need to enhance our vision with the quartz of our potent, everything is receptive. Everything is receiving from the dream, right? From worlds beyond our dimension, from life itself, the flow of the river, from our material universe, North Node and Taurus. And we need to get over our fears, get over our doubts, get over our bad attitudes, and love, right? Get very grateful for the whole thing. It's all in love. It's all grace in some way. Hiroshima is as much part of the dream, although it's not as desired for me. Hiroshima is as much a part of the dream as a dandelion. And it doesn't mean one is good and bad. It's just a happening in a sense. And then how we desire things, right? Our mind's attached to expectations and stuff. And that's when we start clinging to form. It gets tricky because it's like, nobody wants to like be cannibalized, obviously. But if that's the story you find yourself in, that's the story you find yourself in. There's a truth to that and you have to witness it. So anyway, I am kind of rambling. I hope you enjoy your new astrological year, Aries season. Here, loud and proud, the energy is going to shift. You're going to feel it, especially with the moon going into Scorpio now, pretty much. With the sun going from Pisces into Aries, we're going to be going deeper into the dream more really, more truthfully for ourselves. Holler for readings, $33 for an hour of cards, $88 for 3 hours of astrology. You'll become a mini astrologer yourself. $111 for both. 5 stars only, so you're getting a good, not only deal, but high quality, high caliber sitch. Check out the Team Rabbit Hole podcast. We're at episode 272. Amazing conversations with amazing people about all the little rabbit holes, all the squirrely parts of reality on this choose your own adventure. It's like, oh wow, look, this is what that's all about. Oh my gosh, this is what that's all about. So check out the podcast. We've got famous people on there. The authors for some of these decks. This guy's been on there a few times. David DeAngelis, Stacey DeMarco, her deck, she's been on her. But yeah, 272 episodes. Check it out. It's always fascinating to go down the rabbit hole. Join us. We're all going down this initiatory path, down the river, Six of Swords, together and individually. So it's good to compare notes and kind of tell war stories, dream stories, whatever's clever. Holler for readings. Check out the podcast. And I hope you enjoy your Sunday. Adios.